Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Richard Cole. This is Amari Music Talk. And today I'm going to talk about my vinyl and CD pickup. My most recent trip to the record store and an order from Discogs. So I'm going to unbox that, receive that today. Can't wait to see what it looks like. But prior to recording this, the day before, yesterday, as I'm taping this, went to Euclid Records. And Euclid Records, it's currently located in Webster Groves. Originally, it was in the Central West End section of St. Louis. But for the last, maybe 20 years now, they've been at this location in Webster Groves. Started going there about 7 or 8 years ago. Of course, with the pandemic and everything, hadn't had a chance to go back. But the last couple of months, I've been making some frequent trips there. So, my last trip there, this is what I picked up on vinyl. I'm also going to share what I also picked up on CD as well. Starting with My Name is Jermaine. This was an album that came out in 1976. By this point, the Jackson 5 decided to leave Motown. Because they wanted creative freedom. They wanted to write, produce their own music. And Berry Gordy kept vetoing that. So Joe Jackson decided to pack up the kids and leave Motown. They signed with Epic Records. But Jermaine decided to be loyal to Motown, primarily because he was married to Berry Gordy's daughter, Hazel Gordy. But mainly, too, that he also wanted to be loyal to the company that made the Jackson 5 what they were. And he thought that basically it was going to do the same for his career as well. This was an album that I have never had on. Of course, it's not on CD that I know of. But I had always wanted this on vinyl. When I was a kid, I had the 45 of the single Let's Be Young Tonight. But I haven't heard anything else on this album before. So this is one of my main reasons. Now I have other Jermaine Jackson albums like, what is that? Let's Get Serious. Let Me Tickle Your Fancy. I have that. The one that was released in 1984 on Arista Records, with the hits Dynamite, Do What You Do, Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming with Michael on it, Frontiers, which has Castle of Sand. Probably do some episodes where I talk about those albums. But this is one, like I said, besides the single Let's Be Young Tonight, the other track on this one, Bass Odyssey, was the B-side to Let's Be Young Tonight. And like I said, I haven't heard anything off of this one. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's see, who's that lady? Is that a cover of the Isley Brothers? Huh. Check this out. So take this out. When it comes to vinyl, now I think I'm kind of going to be more into collecting used vinyl, unless it's something really, like a Prince reissue or something the Prince estate puts out, or Beatles, or it's got to be a special circumstance to where I'll buy brand new 180 gram vinyl. It's just getting kind of expensive to do that. But there's just something about just having the original vinyl. More economical. Like I said, great pricing on this one. Of course, it is used, so you're going to take some risk. But when you're buying used, that going in. So this, I always check it out when I'm in the store. Take a good look at the vinyl. This looks pretty good. Probably can use a good cleaning, but not any scratches. It looks like it has, it's gotten some use, but I don't know. It'll probably sound good. Of course, I'm going to replace it with an anti-static sleeve. But this looks good, and I'm looking forward to listening to that. Also curious, is this a cover of the Isley Brothers? Who's that lady? I can't wait to hear Jermaine's take on that one. So, he was always good for a cover tune every now and then. Daddy's Home, that was the cut back in the day with that. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna replace this with a anti-static sleeve. But glad this is added to my growing Jermaine Jackson collection. I always felt that he didn't get, enough recognition. He was a pretty good singer. I've enjoyed, his singing, his songwriting. The track "You Like Me, Don't You?" to me, that's one of his best compositions. Of course, I had some trouble with this in the store too. So yeah, like I said, I can't wait to replace this with an anti-static sleeve. But yeah, it's kind of a little rough, kind of getting it back in there. But there we go. But yeah, a lot of it, with the Motown stuff, it was kind of derivative of Marvin Gaye, derivative of Stevie Wonder, a lot of it. But to me, I enjoyed listening to the songs. They were some pretty good songs. Like I said, not the consistency of what Michael or what the other Jacksons, or the Jacksons like with Enjoy Yourself, Shake Your Body, the Destiny album, maybe not consistent hits, but I think maybe had he got more promotion or who knows what was going on with that. But this would have been more of I think he should have had more hits than what he's credited for. But yeah, I can't wait to give this a listen and just see how I enjoy it. I might just do a review on it later. So moving on, the next vinyl that I picked up was Graham Central Station, the Ain't No Bout a Doubt It album. Yeah. This is one that I used to have on CD a lot. There was a point I had the first 3 Graham Central Station albums on CD, and then like a greatest hits on CD. No longer have any of those. I did get the first Graham Central Station album on vinyl some years back. There's another one, one of the later ones after this one, has the cut, Now Do You Want to Dance on it. I can't think of the title of the album, but that's the only other Graham Central Station vinyl that I have. So I was looking to grow that collection as well. So this one, I want to say it's my favorite of the first 3 Graham Central Station albums. The second one, Release Yourself, I almost picked that up. Maybe next time I go back, I might just snatch that one up and get that one. But I think this one, just because it has the jam, Water is the cut on this one. I think probably my top two favorite Larry Graham bass lines, when it comes to Graham Central Station, is Water and Hair from the first album. But yeah, just with Water, the jam, and It's Alright, this made this my favorite Graham Central Station album. Like I said, out of the first three. There's some funk on a lot of Larry Graham Central Station albums. But definitely, for me, this was a favorite. So glad to have this on vinyl. I wish I still had the CD. If I can find the CD somewhere, I would probably do a CD versus vinyl comparison. But again, I'll probably just do a review on this one after I get a chance to kind of really sit down and listen to it. Alright, yeah, let me take that out. Of course, I'm going to have to get an anti-static sleeve for this one as well. Yeah, it's got the Warner Reprise Lost Leaders. Yeah, so they used to advertise these albums, I guess like compilations, of all the, I guess, the Warner Brothers artists or Warner Reprise artists. I wonder if these still exist somewhere. I wonder if you can find those. Next time I go, I have to check out their various artist selections, see if I can find some of those on that. But let me see. Take a look at the vinyl. Yep, vinyl looks pretty good. Yeah, there's not a lot of wear and tear on this one either. Let's see. Probably, it could stand a little cleaning, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, it'd probably still sound pretty good though. No scratches or anything. Yeah, just a lot of dust. Yeah, just have to clean it and, like I said, put it in an anti-static sleeve. But yeah, I want to keep this, the original inner sleeve, the old Burbank location of Warner Brothers Studios. Back before it became Warner Brothers Studios. But yeah, like I say, can't wait to give this one a listen. So moving on, going to the CDs. I only picked up two. This one, Stevie Wonder's Fulfillin'Is first finale, or as Eddie Murphy would say, fulfillin', the good one. The good one. This is one I used to have Stevie on CD, these 24-bit remastered ones, actually. One point kind of had to sell them off. But recently I've been reacquiring those. Also, his albums on vinyl. I don't have the complete set, but, Talking Book. I do have this on vinyl. I think it's like a German pressing, and it's on the Motown label. It doesn't have it on the Tamla label. But yeah, fulfilling this first finale. For me, let's see, Boogie On, Reggae Woman, Creepin'. You Haven't Done Nothing is like my favorite track off of this album. It Ain't No Use and They Won't Go When I Go really makes this an enjoyable listen to me as well. Heaven is 10 zillion light years away. Just the level of genius of Stevie. Somebody that had some major hits in the 60s. But once he gained his creative freedom, on his 21st birthday, from 1971, through 76, I mean, he was wiping folks out, to the point where people were thanking him not to put out, that he didn't put out an album so they could win a Grammy that year, because he was wiping people out every year with this. So, Yeah. So, like I said, I used to have this on CD. This is again one of the 24-bit remastered CDs. So I'm familiar with what this sounds like. So just can't wait to listen to it again. So that's Stevie Wonder fulfilling this first finale. Next, we have James Brown's Funky People. And this is a compilation. I think it came out around 1992. I used to have this and Volume 2. So happy to have this one back in the fold. Still have to get part 2 to this. I do have part 3. So the first time I went back to Euclid Records since the pandemic, I got part 3 of this, which has a track called Hang Out and Hustle, which Naughty by Nature sampled for their Hang Out and Hustle on, what was that album called? Poverty's Paradise. So, been trying to hunt that sample down for years. So when I found out it was on that particular compilation, had to go out and get it. This one is kind of like the who's who of samples on this one, but probably the most famous track on this that has been sampled by Rob Bass, been sampled for Janet Jackson's All Right, is Think About It by Lynn Collins. And you know, I remember finding out that this was the song that was used for those samples, but nothing prepared me for listening to the original track. If you get a chance, you know, go on streaming, go on YouTube, wherever, you can pull this track up, Think by Lynn Collins. Definitely check it out. You talk about funky. Yeah, it earned its spot on this compilation for sure. So yeah, I'm definitely glad to have this back. And then you've got, you know, the JBs on here, a lot of classics, Pass the Peas, Giving Up Food for Funk, same beat, something again that was heavily sampled, late 80s or early 90s. Like I said, this is a who's who of sample history. So definitely a must-have for the collection. You know, if you're thinking about picking this up, I definitely recommend this for sure. All right, so that was the Euclid Records haul. So, about a week or so before I even thought about going to Euclid Records, I was talking about the show Amari Music Talk. Oh no, actually, before it became Amari Music Talk, I was going to do a show called Amari Album Cut, which was going to focus on other artists and their albums. But long story short, I just felt like I needed to get the copy of the vinyl for myself. So found, what is this, on Discogs, Beautiful World Syndicate is a seller. So I was able to find a good price copy of the vinyl. And I ordered that, and I ordered something else as well at a reasonable price. You know, good low prices. Like I said, I think from this point forward, then I'm just going to focus on just used vinyl. You know, like I said, special circumstances will, you know, help me decide if I'm going to do the brand new vinyl. But you know, this was reasonably, like I said, priced. I don't want to say cheap, but it was cost effective for me to do the used vinyl. Let's put it that way. All right, so this arrived in a timely manner. And I love it when they come in these kind of cardboard sleeves. There they are. Yeah, I can't wait to share the other one too that I got too. But like I said, there is. Whoa, watch out! There is Cameo style. Yeah. Alrighty. Yep. Shout out and thank you to Beautiful World Records. Like I said, timely arrival, reasonably priced. The shipping. Like I said, I got the extra item because it wasn't that much, and the shipping was the same price. So cool. Okay, so this is it's a promotional copy. That's cool. Like I say, when you purchase used vinyl, there's amount of risk, but my thing is I want to play this. I'm not trying to make $1 million off of it or anything like that. I buy records to play them. So I don't care what the quality is so long as it can play. And let's see, it's got a clear sleeve, I guess, anti-static sleeve already. So kudos to the previous owner. And yeah, this is in good condition. It's probably just a little light dust. Nothing that can't be cleaned with a good record cleaner brush. Yeah. So like I said, I got a chance to listen to this on streaming a lot. So I can't wait to hear what the original vinyl sounds like in comparison. But we'll talk about that with Mr. PC Munoz when we talk about the Style album by Cameo, one of the 80s greatest funk bands. Probably my top two. Time being number one, but check them out. This is by this time they had gotten rid of the horn section, and it was just down to the 4 members here, Larry Blackman and Charlie Singleton. Yeah, then there's like I said, can't wait to talk about this on the show. So I'm going to put this away, and I'm just going to skip to the last album in this vinyl haul, this vinyl pickup. And let's see. There, and the last. And like I said, I picked this up. I used to have this when I was about 12 or 13. I got into the Beatles when I was like 10. And didn't know that much about them. I got this, let's see if I can. It was this book in which I actually learned about the Beatles. I mean, there's been better books since this one, but having this at like 12, like I said, it covered enough of the basics and educated about not only just the albums as the Beatles, but their solo material as well. So once I had read this book, then started to want to check out more. And by 1978, 1979, really, Paul was the only one that was doing something. Wings was still riding kind of high. 78, 79. The other three, either the records weren't strong, or in John's case, wasn't doing much of anything. So I guess, this was sort of my gateway into their solo material. Like I said, Paul was still doing stuff, and, I got this, like I said, about 13. I remember kind of rocking this summer '79 a lot. So it had to been at least 13 at the most when I got this originally. Lost the original vinyl to this, but this is a pretty strong compilation for 1970. 78. Yep, there's copyright 1978. So this is a pretty good one because it covered the bases. Band on the Run, Silly Love Songs, Live and Let Die, My Love Jet. Things that I read in that book that I was curious about, like Hi Hi Hi, My Love with a Little Luck, Another Day. This is, like I said, it was a pretty good compilation to have. I'm glad to have this back, actually. And let me take a look. Now, the original vinyl that I had, it came with a poster, which is not it's not with this one, but that's cool though. I mean, that's cool. I'm just happy to have the album for real. So the original inner sleeve, yeah, this brings back some memories. Okay, and the vinyl looks like it's in really good condition. Again, it's got a few surface scratches, so it might have that little snap, crackle, pop. And let's see, might be a little imperfection. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it looks like might be a little bubble. I don't know. I'll give it a good cleaning and, like I said, give it a good listen and see how it affects it. But hey, like I said, just happy to have this back. Doesn't have to be perfect. So yeah, dang. For me, let's see. McCartney's bass playing on Silly Love Songs, but then the drums on Silly Love Songs and the drums on Junior's Farm. And, even Jet and Band on the Run, too. I love the sound of this. I love what they're doing on all of these. Even though, like, Wings kind of change members, like, every couple of years or so. Like I said, this was the one I was rocking all summer of '79. Of course, Good Night Tonight was out, too. And then later, the Back to the Egg, which is my absolute favorite Wings album. But this was sort of the gateway to all of their solo stuff for me. This is like the first thing that I owned, and then eventually, started checking out what the other three were doing. But yeah, this is cool. So yeah, shout out to, again, shout out to Beautiful World Syndicate for the hookup. Definitely going to check their shop out again and see what else they may have. But that will end this episode of Amari Music Talk. What did you think? Are these albums that you have in your personal collections? Which one of those jump out at you the most, or your favorite? Or does this inspire you to pick it up? Or will you find it on CD? Or will you find it on vinyl? Leave me a comment and let me know your thoughts. And again, thank you once again for tuning in. And again, hit that like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified on any and all things Amari Communications. Also become a Patreon supporter. That helps me create more of these videos. You can do it as low as $1 a month. Helps to keep this show alive and help me bring good quality product to you. So by all means, have a good week and create your day and create your life. Peace.